This is Let's Talk Stuff with Njenga. Greetings wherever you are watching us from. Again on LTS episode number 10. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel and you can like our videos, comment and share your feedback. We dive straight to this week's episode, and when Yes caused a shutdown, she learned to say a big no. And remember, it's okay to say no. A former colleague of mine reached out to me after watching what we are sharing on LTS, and she reminded me of her experience, which I'm going to share today. So sit back, relax, and get to learn from this story. And again, many thanks to you, Jessica, for sharing your story. And I'm sure you are tuned in and you will be excited to see your story go on air. Many people will learn from it. So, are you a yes person? One who loves being the one to swoop in, agree to every project or idea, and get things taken care of? Now, everybody knows that nodding enthusiastically to every opportunity that comes across your lap is a recipe for stress and overload. It's time you need to learn how to say no. La 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 la. This is the time. Now, this is Jessica's story, one of my former colleague. She was an administrator in learning and development department. Now, the interesting facts about Jessie, as we used to call her, is that she was always very busy, but very organized. Now, Jessica was always first in the office and she would always be the last one to leave. Interestingly enough, at one point, Jessie's work ethics started to make me even doubt if I had enough workload, since it was my practice to make sure that I leave my workstation clutter-free with no pending tasks where possible when I closed duty. Now, working in the same office with Jessica and I used to go for lunch together. But the funny thing about our lunch hour is Jessica formed a habit of finishing her lunch very fast. In fact, pardon or forgive me, the impression would be like we were on a boot camp. Now, she would quickly finish her lunch and go for a recharge. And now, when I talk about a recharge here, is that she will go for a smoke, all right? And she will step back into the office and again get swamped up with the many tasks on her to-do list. That was Jessica. Now, Jessie's work model did not let her even enjoy the office light moments. You know, those moments when someone has a birthday or someone has just popped in with some tea or a little bit of cupcakes. She never enjoyed such office light moments. In fact, she saw them as a waste of valuable time, which she would have otherwise used this time to complete some of her pending tasks. Now, during one of the audits for learning and development, the director of L&D assigned us the task of computing the HACCP reports for all the food handlers. Now, Jessica, as usual, she just rushed in quickly and said, I will handle that. No need of Sami. You don't need to involve Sami. I will handle it. So, she was given the task of handling the audit report preparation for the HACCP that was due in a week's time. Now, remember, we had only 1 week to get out of the data, to make sure that everything was not missing, to ensure that all the stats on the report for more than 1,100 staffs were not only accurate, but were up to date. Now, during the morning daily briefings in the department, Jessica will be asked, what was the result? Or what was the status of the report? And she will say, I'm working on it. I'm working on it. Now, on the third day, the learning and the development director called me aside and she said to me, now, Sammy, listen, the way I see things working out here, I'm not convinced that Jesse will be able to make it. However, I want you to work parallel on the same HACCP report without Jessica knowing about it. Now, I took that as a challenge, and the involvement in data computation, verification, and updating against every staff index was a huge and demanding task that I thought. Now, having less on my plate to work on, I dedicated my time to the audit report since any non-compliance would incur a fine of 5,000 dirhams per staff index. Jessica was the yes girl. Yes, girl. Would you do this? Yes. Can someone help me with this? Yes. And having a 2 days off, I could not understand why she was so dedicated to come on her off days to get some of the administration tasks completed. For me, my 2 days off, I enjoyed them like a king in my little mansion. Now, on Thursday, since it was the last day of the week, Jessica stated that the report was 75% done and would be ready by Sunday since the audit was to be on Tuesday the following week. Now, frustrations could be seen on Jesse's face. Now, pardon me, I'm really trying to control myself because I remember how she used to look like when she was really, really frustrated. Now, you could see her frustration. Then she got very uneasy as the audit day got closer. I know Jessie had a very light skin, and when she was frustrated, man, she will turn pale, really pale, like the lobster that has been just basking on the heat of the day. That's how Jessie would look like. So we could really tell that something was really not right. Anyway, now, Jessica was no longer enjoying work at all, since every passing minute was a moment of stress, demand of expected completed tasks that were not even done, and she committed that she will do that. Unfortunately, things always ended up not being complete. Now, having worked together with Jessie for 6 months after I joined the department, I would from time to time see Jessica take some tablets, thinking that she was sick. I one day asked why she was doing that and if she was okay. Now, Jessica told me what I already knew. Sam, I cannot cope. There's so much work in this office and I cannot meet my deadlines. I have not even finished the HACCP report. Now, pardon again my laughing because she will turn double pale when she was under stress and pressure. Now, I asked her, just like a gentleman, if I could help and assist with the report. And she declined. And she said, no, it's okay. I will manage it. And over the weekend. Now, before I tell you what happened to Jessica, saying no is a lot easier said than done. Particularly if you're someone who has grown accustomed to being there in a pinch. And while you should undoubtedly put some thought into every task or opportunity that you walk away from, there are definitely times when you're better way turning off some things and saying no. Now, let me share just 5 instances when it's totally okay and even encouraged to walk away and just say no. Remember, I'll be coming back shortly onto Jessica's story. So, for the first point, when you can be able to say no. When you have a better opportunity, say no. If you have a better opportunity lined up, there's no shame in turning something else down. It sounds ruthless, but it is necessary. You can say no. Second, when it doesn't benefit you, just say no. Now, there's nothing wrong with being accommodating or offering a helping hand every once in a while. But if you take on too many favors, you won't leave yourself adequate time for things that actually interest you and push you forward. Number three, when you don't have time, just say no. Time is precious, by the way. And if you're one of those people who have a tendency and you so much enthusiastically throw yourself into every new project of every opportunity, I'm willing to bet that you are already spreading a little thin. So if you don't have time, just say no. So if you feel like your plate is already full, you have the option to say no to things that you simply don't have time for. And number four, when you are not the best one for the job, there is no harm. Just say no. If you're tearing your hair out and spending hours trying to solve a problem that you know the person across the office or in another department or in another section could figure it out in minutes, you're really just wasting time, energy, and company resources. Just look for that guy or that lady and just say, how can I get it done? So just say no. Being honest about the fact that you're not the best suited for the opportunity is admirable. Plus, there's nothing stopping you from asking that office expert to show you how he or she takes care of things. That way, you're still learning new skills, and at the end of the day, without a huge toll on your schedule or even your sanity. And the last one, number five, when it makes you uncomfortable, just say no. You know that gut feeling you get when something just seems off? There's something about a request or a direction that causes you to take a pause, take one step back, and makes your stomach twist into knots. When you have that gut feeling, just say no. Maybe a client or a customer asked you to meet a demand that seems a little bit foggy or manipulative. Perhaps your co-workers want you to cover him or her when he lies about their sick day, or maybe even your boss asked you to do something that just makes you plain old uncomfortable. Just say a big no. Now, I won't sugarcoat it for you. Saying no can be very difficult and even a little bit counterintuitive, but it's one of those necessary evils you have to do. And there are definitely those times when walking away is in your best interest. So take note of these particular instances and you will be prepared to say that magic word when it is absolutely necessary. Just say a big no. Now, back to Jessica. It was on Friday, first week, the Sunday before the HACCP audit. Now, the director of L&D asked Jessica to submit the reports. Now, the all turned pale Jessica turned pale again, She took a deep breath and burst out crying very hysterically. Now, she started blaming herself of not being able to complete all the tasks. She was worried that we are not going to pass the audit since she had not completed the report and her report had very many discrepancies. Jessica was so overwhelmed. I'm just remembering her. I'm sure she will really feel so bad when she watches this video. She was unable to hold herself. She turned pale. She could not even breathe. And she was rushed to the hospital. And she was put on a bed rest for 7 days. Now, Jessica, don't worry. At least you got through it. Now, the parallel HACCP report that I was tasked to work on is what saved the day during the audit. Now, despite the tense, pin-search, vigorous audit, for the first time, we scored a clean record of 100% compliance. That means there was no fine for any single colleague index, and we were saved by the bell. I still hold that souvenir that I was given by the Director of Learning and Development for saving the occasion. Now, 7 days later, our ever pale Jessica returned to work and was discharged from the hospital. She tendered her resignation and she relocated back to her home country. Now, Jessica is so good at saying no that she even started her own business and she's doing pretty well. Friends of LTS, it's okay to say no. Saying yes all the times so that you don't disappoint people or you don't disappoint your colleagues or your bosses. If you keep on saying yes, it makes you disappointed and you will be disappointed and you will miss the great appointments that could have pointed you to the path that was destined for you. LTS family, when it's all said and done, the simple truth of the week. Learn the art of saying no. Don't lie. Don't make excuses. Don't over-explain yourself. Just simply decline and say no. That's week on LTS episode number 10. And if you have any experiences you'd want to share with us, please say yes and drop me a note on the emails that are running down on your screen. And remember, we are here to learn from each other's experience. And this week, thanks to Jessica, we now know it is important sometimes to say no. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you can get the weekly notification on the videos that we upload. And as we always say it from LTS, I'm sure now you know. Remember, the most highly valued asset of any successful company is the staff. So, I hope to see you next week on another episode. And this week, just try to say no. From us, bye-bye.